In this video, I reveal the 3 things you need to follow if you want to increase your sales with text. The steps that you want to follow are 1, collection, 2, sending, and then 3, optimization. And I'm about to go through those 3 things right now. So similar to the email video that I sent over about trying to collect as many emails as possible, this still applies for SMS as well. Because if you don't have messages and customers to text to, then all of the optimization and everything that we're going to talk about later in this video won't matter at all. So there's 2 main places where you really want to pay attention to collect as many phone numbers as you possibly can. The first one is offline, and that's going to be probably where you're going to get the largest amount of people that are going to sign up for this. Typically, you ask for the phone number so they can have some sort of loyalty program, VIP sign up, whatever it is. So if you've watched any of my other previous videos about generating Google reviews, how you generate Google reviews is that you train your bud tenders to ask for the reviews. You incentivize the ask, so then you get more reviews for your dispensary. So on that same note, you need to incentivize the bud tenders to ask for phone numbers as well, because the more asks that you have for getting the phone number, the more phone numbers that you're going to get. So what we're going to do is we're going to train your bud tenders to ask as many people as they possibly can to provide the phone numbers. Now, sometimes you can do it all ninja-like, and essentially when they finish the purchase, you can be like, hey, can I have your phone number? And typically most people will give you the phone number, but some other times people will be a little bit hesitant to give their phone numbers. So what you need to do is you need to incentivize the phone number. So the reason why you're getting people's phone numbers is that you can provide them discounts and deals that they wouldn't have access to otherwise that are not live on the website already. So we're going to talk about how we're going to optimize that a little bit later on. But in this phase, in this section, what we want to do is try and drive as many asks as possible to get the phone number. Because the more phone numbers we have, the more data that we can collect later on in this process, so that we can squeeze out a little bit of those conversion points to generate as many sales as possible. So that's offline. And then the secondary spot where you're going to get a lot of people signing up is going to be online. So typically this is going to be on your website, whether it's in the form of a pop-up or a section on the homepage of your website saying, hey, sign up for the VIP program. Now, this is probably one of the reasons why you're not going to get as many signups online as you do get offline, is because when you ask in person, people are typically just going to go with the flow and give you the phone number anyways. However, when it's online and it's just a prompt, people typically don't put in their phone number unless they're going to get something for it. So you really want to go ahead and incentivize how you're going to go about collecting emails online. And typically you're going to go ahead and offer some sort of discount, some sort of free delivery, maybe it's free merch, maybe it's a buy a product, get it for $1, whatever it is, and whatever is compliant in your state or province, that's what you need to follow. Essentially, you need to give something so good, so valuable that people want to give their phone number in exchange, right? So if it's a 5% discount, a 10% discount, a 50% discount, what you need to do is you need to collect these valuable phone numbers, because you know that the people that do give you phone numbers will provide you X amount of dollars later on. So if you want to drive an effective strategy, and you know that for every customer that gives you a phone number, they end up spending $500 to $1,000 later on, it's okay. Take a $20 hit on the first product that they buy, because you know that you're going to collect their phone number, and you know that they're going to continue purchasing month after month and year after year, because you know that your service that you're providing is really good. But you need to ensure that you properly incentivize getting the phone number. So for example, if I say, okay, anybody who's on my website, I will give away a free car if you put your number in here, then everyone's going to put in their phone number, right? Now, obviously you can't give away a free car, but you need to figure out what is the most valuable thing that you can give away that is not going to cost you a lot of money, that you know later on down the line you can then monetize, and then you can leverage these customer data to make more money later on. So you're sacrificing maybe $10, $20 at the beginning so that you can make $500, $1,000 later on. The second step is then the send, right? Very, very simple. Once you get the phone numbers, you just need to send the text messages. Now, this is very, very important. And just because you know that open rates on texts are high doesn't mean that you just bombard your customers with as many texts as possible. That's an absolutely a no-go. What we need to do is send valuable information, right? What are the most valuable things that you can send to your customer so that they are the most happy when receiving that text? And again, I'm going to use the most extreme example so you get exactly what I'm talking about. But if every single time I send out a text message and they're going to get a free car, everyone is going going to look forward to that text message, right? And again, you can't give away a free car, but when you're looking at your research, when you're looking at the latest and greatest products, when you're looking at the high trending products, when you're looking at the different types of products and the different categories that you're sending, are you able to give specific discounts and specific freebies towards the people who you are sending the text to? Because it's not about people just opening up your texts and maybe responding once and coming and shopping in once or twice. It's about how do you get the people who are on your phone going to be like, oh, I love receiving a message from your dispensary. Thank you for sending all these discounts. Like, that's the type of rapport you want to continue building with your customers, because if you don't do this, then they're just going to opt out, and then you're never going to get them back into your text messaging platform ever again. You spent all of this effort, you gave them the discount to get them into your system, to get their phone number, and now all you're doing is just blasting them day in and day out for them to leave. So now you're going to lose them as a customer. Very quick side tangent of a case study that I had is that we had a client where their sales were dropping every single day over the course of 18 months, and their SEO results were doing well. Everything was going well, but what ended up happening was that 70% of the people who purchased from them the first time didn't purchase from them a second time. And the problem with this is that eventually you're going to run out of customers. Eventually the word is going to go out that your reputation is bad, and then people are going to stop shopping at your location. So every single customer that you get inside your text messaging database, you need to make sure you continually send good, valuable information. Don't just send random things like, hey, have a great day, or whatever it is. Send valuable information on specific discounts, on, again, whatever compliance is available in your state or your province, whatever you can give away. But these things are super, super important because you're going to continually build trust. Every single time you send a bad text message, you're reducing trust in your customers. Every time you send a good text message, you're increasing trust with your customers. So you need to make sure you figure out what is valuable for your customers and how do you continue providing them value day in and day out. Now, the third and arguably the most important piece is the optimization phase. The optimization phase is the phase where you're going to create data points that are specific towards your dispensary. At the end of the day, you're watching my video and I can only provide you generalized information. I can't go specifically into your dispensary and look specifically at your data to see how people are operating and exactly how your customers are interacting with your brand. The optimization phase is very important because I'm going to give you best practices on sending emails, collecting emails, but the optimization phase is what you need to continue doing day in and day out. Things that you need to do to ensure that you properly optimize your audience is you need to segment your lists. So you can segment your lists in various of ways, but you can segment them by lost customers, at-risk customers, best customers. So let's say your top 10% of purchasers, top 30% of purchasers, categories of purchasers. So what categories are they purchasing in? Are they purchasing flower mostly? Are they purchasing pre-rolls? Are they purchasing edibles? You send text to new customers, and then you're sending text to loyal customers, and then you can see that all on the back end. So if you know that this bucket of customer loves buying beverages, for example, but you keep sending them flower discounts, then that really isn't valuable, right? So step 2 is sending, but sending valuable text to them. So when you segment your audience, you can figure out, okay, if this customer is at risk, I can send them a 40% off discount, and they're more than likely to come back and then purchase again for the next 3 times coming back in. Or if you know you have loyal customers, or you have your best customers, your loyal customers, you know that they're going to keep coming in and purchasing. So then you can go ahead and be like, hey, John, you've been shopping with us for the past 2 years. Thank you for your loyalty. We want to give you a 60% discount off, right? And this is just one 60% discount, but what ends up happening is that this customer will then come back and purchase another 10 times later down the line. So it's not about how do we make short money. It's about how do we continue making the most amount of money over a long period of time. In addition to segmenting your audience, you're also able to test and measure different things. So you can test, I know in the cannabis SMS world, sometimes you have to do the waterfall method where you have an image or a click here. So when you do those things, you can test your calls to action. So if you need to say click here, it could be like click here, view our menu, check out our discounts, the best sale we've ever had. You can test all of these different types of variations and see how your customers interact with it. How many people are replying, how many people are opening it, how many people are leveraging that discount once they come into store. Because what happens is that if you're giving a discount away and you're just putting it out there just to put out there, there, you need to see how many times that discount gets converted. So if you give away a 20% discount and you're not tracking how effective that 20% discount was on a Wednesday, then you're not going to know if you should post that 20% discount on a Wednesday at 8 p.m. or should you post a 15% discount on a Sunday at 3 p.m. So by sending the different text messages at different times, you're going to want to see what messages are the most effective for sending it on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Saturday, on a Sunday, and then additionally what times you want to send it. You can test what categories you want to promote. You can text what holiday promotions. So we just had Cyber Monday, Black Friday, we have Christmas coming up, and then you have Valentine's Day, and then you have Super Bowl. You can create any promotion for literally anything you want, but then you can get some data points to see, okay, last year we posted a November Black Friday deal and it did very, very well. So we're going to do that again. And then once you get these data points, you're then going to be able to tweak and figure out, okay, this is exactly what I have going on, and this is what I'm going to do to make it better. Because if you're sending out text messages, why not do it better? Right? Track your data, see what your open rates are, see what type of engagement you're getting with your different text messages, and you're going to essentially figure out a blueprint on how you can go ahead and send the best text messages. Now, if you're like most people and most owners that I've spoken to, you don't really stop at one dispensary. You go and you try and open up as many as you possibly can. So what you do is once you figure out the text messaging strategy for one location, this then gets compounded to the second location, third location, fourth location, fifth location. And then you know exactly, okay, we now know that 3 days out from Christmas, we need to do a pre-roll deal that is going to sell X amount of product, and we know that these customers are going to stay in. Because you can go and you can watch all these marketing videos and say, hey, we need to do SEO, we need to do email marketing, we need to do social media. But if you're not a step ahead of the game in terms of all of your marketing strategies, not just texting, and you're not continually optimizing, you're going to eventually lose because you're not improving. Just sending out the information isn't good enough. You need to continue improving and making your product better, and your product doesn't necessarily mean the thing that you sell. It means the way that you market as well, and how do you reduce friction for your customers to get what they want. And last but not least, a few final notes on just text messaging overall is that SMS has the highest open rate across all platforms. When you send out a text message, you're going to get upwards of 90+% open rate, which is absolutely ridiculous. Compare that to your emails, you might be hovering between 30 and 70, depending on how good you are at sending those emails as well. But you want to make sure that your text messages are higher value than what you would normally send via email. Because I know a lot of people just send out a flyer in their email saying, hey, here's our Monday deal, here's our Tuesday deal, here's our Wednesday deal, 10%, 15%, 20% off, whatever it is, right? But text message is so much more intimate than an email. Everyone gets blasts and promotions via email, but most text people are getting them from family and friends. So you want to make sure that the text messages that you're sending are aligned with how people like to receive text. People don't like to receive massive paragraphs of text, and they don't like to receive text from companies day in and day out all the time. High value, low quantity, but high quality. Because if you start messing around with people's text messages, they're immediately going to opt out. So like I said at the start of the video, what you want to do is you want to make sure you collect emails effectively, send high value emails, and continually optimize, because these are the 3 things that you need to do if you want to increase sales for your dispensary. Now, if you like this content, I just released the new dispensary website Playbook, which takes years and years of experience and condense it down into a playbook that will show you how you can optimize your website for a maximum conversion so you can make as many online sales as possible. So if you want to get that, just look in the description below or go to Cannabud Marketing /website-playbook, and I'll see you over there. Until next time, bye.